Welcome once again to Living in the 21st Century. Joining me today is Vasyl Shavchenko from Ukraine. He's the former transportation minister. Vasyl, it's always a pleasure to have you on. How is it going today?
Thank you. Thank you for having me, my friend. Thank you.
Absolutely. Well, it seems to be a lot of bombardment going on now in Ukraine. Apparently, Putin had intense his bombardment now on Odessa and so forth. It seems like it's no holding it. Now, recently I've heard the president say that he gave Putin 50 days, I think it was, speaking subject to correction on that he will have to either come to some common understanding and ceasefire or stop the war, or he will proceed to sell Ukraine the military equipment that they will need to continually fight in this war. What is your overlook now at the war? Is the existence of the present soldiers solely depend on United States assistance, or the European allies are holding their own?
Yes, thank you. I'd like to start my answer from the one important point that Ukraine was visited by special envoy, United States President Kit Kellogg. And during this day, the capital of Ukraine wasn't under heavy bombardment. And after he left Ukraine, Russians started bombing again. And this night, overnight, we had 300 drones, long range, and more than 30 missiles. And it confirms that he, first of all, respects United States and United States influence in the world. And then we can see that he is afraid to have good relations again between United States and Ukraine. And they have understood that their so-called negotiations, they wanted to demonstrate without any results have been fallen. And now many people, most of people know that Russia's president is not interested in ceasefire, because we know that Russia depends on China, and Russia depends on military style of life. I think that they cannot stop if they don't have any extra limits to stop them. First of all, we have noticed that Russia's president don't care for serious casualties his army has received in Ukraine. More than 1 million soldiers were heavily wounded or killed at the battlefield, and they have lost thousand tanks, arm carriers. You know that they have lost many fighter jets and helicopters, and all these casualties have happened thanks to our partners and thanks to Ukraine forces which were attacking or deterring Russia troops. And I'd say that we depends. Ukraine's army and Ukraine society depends on Western support. And nearest negotiations between our European partners, United States and Ukraine, have demonstrated that the way to cooperate in the sphere of defense have been found. and our partners from European Union could pay part of ammunition from United States at the expense of European Union budget, and Ukraine will buy part of this weapon from United States directly from Ukraine's budget. And you know that Ukraine has restarted the government with a main purpose to improve and increase the number of weapons to provide Ukraine's military forces, because you know that battlefield in Ukraine have changed the type of waging war. Now, for example, arm carriers, tanks, and fighter jets have no actually important influence at the battlefield, because drone technologies have demonstrated that its new type of war can allow poorly equipped army effectively to deter Russia Federation. You know that we have had fourth year this war, and Ukraine forces are fighting against Russia Federation more than 10 years. And now we can see that these technologies are spreading around the world, and now, for example, our partners, our European partners, have understood that they are in danger, and the United States is in danger because of results of combat clashes in Ukraine, because you know that has appeared information that just after conversation between a European leader and China's representative concerning war in Ukraine, and one commented that China cannot allow Russia Federation to be defeated in Ukraine, and that means that they are involving and they are back Russia Federation.
Yeah, I want to ask you this question, because I remember a couple of years ago when Joe Biden was in power, he had mentioned that the World War III will not be fought in Ukraine. But the more and more it appears, that's where that direction is pointing. Now we have North Korea supporting fully now Russia. So it appears to be China as well, making that declaration that they can allow the Russia Federation to fall victim in the Ukraine. You have two superpowers, or matter of fact, three superpowers coming after Ukraine. The European allies at some point, believe it or not, may have to very well get physically active in this war for their own protection as well as the protection as Ukraine. When this happens, it's going to be full out scale war, and that would be definitely World War III. If Putin has no intentions to hold up, and maybe over the 50 days that President Trump said that he would give to Putin to make a decision, then the support for Ukraine selling United States advanced artillery to the Ukraine is going to be there. The European support is there. I mean, the only thing that lacking from World War III is that you don't have the physical interaction with other forces from allied nations being involved. But the reality, it would be the beginning and the initiation of World War III. In your mind, how do you see the outcome of this war as it proceeds down through this year and probably into next year? What's your opinion?
First of all, from the point of view from Ukraine, I'd said that we are interested in any type of support, including manpower from European partners and other people and other countries who's ready to fight at the battlefield. But mostly European countries representatives are not ready to make unpopular decision concerning sending soldiers to Ukraine to die. Because you know that European Union is formed from 27 democratic countries, and every country has leading countries, leading political party and position party, and there are many parties which are supported by Russia Federation, and Russia Federation can interfere in decisions which are being made in every European Union countries and European Union in common. And I'd say that they are promoting ideas that Ukraine, the war in Ukraine, it is not European Union war, but they are not interested in knowing current events because they are interested in focusing domestic problems. As usual, before the war, the same situation we could see before First World War and Second World War, when country leaders were interested in resolving domestic interior problems. But now many countries from Eastern Europe, mostly Baltic countries, Poland and Germany, which has border with Russia Federation, have understood it. And for example, you can see that Germany decided to change their opinion. Germany was main friendly country for Russia Federation before the war. And previous those time chancellor was promoting idea concerning cooperation with Russia Federation in different sphere, and as a result they help Russia to rearm and to rebuild their military facilities and started producing rearming their army, and this army is coming to Europe. Now this army is being determined by Ukrainian forces, and Ukrainian's army is strongest army in the Europe, because we have many drafted soldiers. Our soldiers are being drilled, and we have created new type of waging war. For example, war by drones has demonstrated that we can fight without Western support. And you remember when we have delay with supplying weapon from United States, then we could see European countries willing to support Ukrainian humanitarian sphere. But first of all, Ukraine needs the weapon. And if we are supported by manpower, it's a good idea, because you know and you confirm that against Ukraine are fighting the line of autocratic countries, which has no limits for manpower. They don't care for human lives.
Yeah, well, one of the things I was thinking about, and I want to think about this prudently, because you have the European nations looking at more from a domestic standpoint, when the whole entire European nation region is potentially at risk with Russia coming after them in the future. So I think that it should be vitally important that they critically examined the air defense system and the manual infrastructure on land. That's what's going to put Ukraine in a strategic point to continue to be on the offensive. I know at one point they were more on the defensive side. I don't know if they are still on that or if they are move on to an offensive side, which we had indicated months ago that they had penetrated into the Russia territories. The survival, I mean, I'm saying it from not a professional standpoint because I don't have any military training, but I'm saying it from the standpoint that what makes sense then is that if they don't want to give military personnel or men to go in there and fight, well, then in that region, can they supply or launch air defense from their system, from their nations into Russia, or are they scared of Putin because he have just mentioned that if anyone get involved in the Ukraine's war, it's going to be problematic? Now, the reality is that he's not that strong. He's dependent on other countries now to help fight and facilitate his war. Therefore, he's weak. I think this is a moment where other nations should see this and capitalize on it. And I don't know the diplomacy of the European nation, so I still speaking from a layman term and not 100% knowledgeable, but what's your opinion on that?
I'd say that our European partners are under serious pressure, Russia's propaganda. You know that the European Union is following human rights standards and media rights for independence. And Russia consumes it and provided a lot of lie, not only to European Union, but around the world. And as a result, we cannot say that that Europeans understand actual events at the battlefield. For example, when I'm listening BBC, I for example, could hear very often that they are naming this war, the conflict in Ukraine, conflict in which are fighting armies for more than 500,000, and the number of victims is huge. And at the same time, they are trying to avoid to name it war, because after this naming, they have to make serious decision to defend all nations. And better to discuss it more simply without stressing this moment. And very often I could hear that Russia's so-called experts. Russia has no experts. It's people who are authorized to promote their part of propaganda. And because of it, listening any Russians in international media, it's listening Russia's propaganda, because without Russia's secret service permission, nobody can comment any situation, only according to the propaganda standards. And then you know that United States President Donald Trump demanded to acknowledge 5% expenditures for NATO bloc. And now we can see that why it was impossible, because expenditures didn't include the money for counter propaganda and counter action, and 1.5% from this budget will be sent to fighting with the Russia propaganda. And I think that it will give results. But now we can see that many countries' leaders are under public opinion pressure, and public opinion is on the side of peace. people don't like to be killed or don't like to kill other peoples, but in this case we can see that domestic challenges supported and founded by Russia Federation has results, and very often right-wing or left-wing European parties are under Russia's influence and very often are promoting Russia's idea, not directly, but for example, they are for peace. For peace at which conditions? Which conditions of this peace? Surrendering Ukraine, it's peace. We cannot surrender because Ukraine will die and people will die. You can see that the occupied by Russians territory, its territory under its gray zone. There are no any law, no Ukrainian law, and there doesn't exist Russia's law. There people lives under huge pressure, and people has no rights. And because of it, for example, United States President noticed that negotiations between Russia and Ukraine has no results. Because Russia is simulating its type of avoiding and delay time. And for example, one day ago, I saw that NATO bloc representative leader commented that this way war between European Union and Russia Federation will take place 1.5 year. And I think that he decided to comment it this way to be understandable for Europeans, because you know that China is interested in capturing Taiwan, and just to distract attention, they will encourage Russia Federation to attack Baltic countries, European countries, to distract attention and to test NATO bloc reaction. Will it be immediate reaction, or it will cause only discussion, and after that must be immediate action? But nobody knows how it will work. And then you know that in this case, United States will have serious image casualties, because China will demonstrate their power. And now we can see that United States President slowly is changing his opinion concerning instruments to stop this war. He has the only instruments to provide Ukraine enough weapon to stop Russia Federation. You know that Ukraine forces could drive them out, but faced that the Ukraine forces didn't have enough military ammunition in those time, and lost half a year for building Russia's fortification from those time, and those time was military support for Ukraine was limited, and because of it we didn't manage to demonstrate them. And you know that among Western countries exist ideas that they are not interested in Russia's collapse, because Russia collapse can cause danger in the sphere of spreading a nuclear weapon. But now we can see that nuclear weapon in the Russia Federation is at the same condition Russia army is. and it means that if we are afraid to demonstrate Russia Federation strength, we will have casualties. All of us, all country will have casualties. The European Union will have serious casualties. Ukraine, United States, and all developed countries, countries with democracy domination, will get under serious blow.
Quickly, did Kim Jong-un, North Korea president, I believe, did he outwardly make a declaration that he was going to partner with Russia to fight this war?
First of all, I'd say that actually North Korea doesn't exist. It's first China's proxy. We know that North Korea fulfilled order from the China and immediately sent millions rounds to Ukraine, to Russia Federation, to Ukraine, and now they are. Building serious facility for producing ballistic missiles. They, you know, that quality of North Koreans missiles was bad, and Ukraine forces could down it easily. But now these missiles are equipped more sophisticated technologies, and now they are shelling Ukraine every day, and they have started producing a lot of this type of ballistic missiles. You know that ballistic missiles, most dangerous missiles to shut down. But the only way to intercept ballistic missiles, it's using Patriot system missiles, PAC-3 number, and because of it, I don't think that this idea will be good if all countries will allow them to continue developing, because we will have to spend huge money, or will pay more than now. We can stop them in Ukraine.